Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Please, at the end of this video, don't forget to find the link for this notebook in the description below. And please don't forget also to like and subscribe to the channel for more videos. Today we are going to talk about the Hugging Face Transformers library and how we can use this library in NLP applications. You will see how easy we can install and set up our Hugging Face Transformers library, how we can run NLP models with just a few lines of codes, thanks to the pipeline API and abstract from Hugging Face, how we can use this pipeline abstraction for 6 tasks like text classification. We will use the sentiment analysis. We'll use also named entity recognition, also question answering, summarization, translation, and text generation. First, to install your libraries, of course, I'm using here Google Colab, the Pro version. But if you need to install your transformers, you can simply use the pip install command and you will install the transformers libraries. Okay. For our demo today, we have a text from Mr. Bruce Wayne, Mr. Batman, sending a message that he is unhappy for his order for a Superman figure and toy to Amazon. And this text is just to try our example below. So this is the text. First thing we need to do is just to run this cell, shift enter or play, and it will run. First task here is sentiment analysis. And in sentiment analysis, it's one of the text classifications tasks and applications. First of all, we need to import the pipeline abstraction, API abstraction from transformers and pandas as PD to print the results in a data frame format. To run text classification or sentiment analysis, we will call this abstraction pipeline and pass the text dash classification, and we'll call our object as classifier, and then we will pass the text from Mr. Bruce Wayne to this classifier and get the results from the API in our outputs. Now, the first time you run this, it will take time to load all these models and variables in the memory. But the second time when you run it, it will be much faster. So here it runs. Okay, as you can see, it has loaded the pipeline and it has chosen the default model. We did not specify a model in our call to the pipeline API, and I will show you how you can do this, in a few moments later. And you can see that it loads all the files, the tokenizer and the model in the memory, and it has chosen the distal birth base uncased fine-tuned SST to English model. Okay, now if I print the output here, we can say it's a list of dictionary that has the label to be negative. This is what Mr. Batman feels to his order, and this is the score, how negative this is. So we run this cell. Okay, and if I want to print it in data frame output and format, we can do pandas the data frame and send the output to them. Okay, so this is how easy you can do sentiment analysis to your reviews for your clients. Now, let's move to the second task, which is the named entity recognition. We want now to use Hugging Face Transformers pipeline API to find the objects and names and of these objects, whether they are locations or cities or persons. So we'll call the pipeline with the task NER. We will choose the aggregation strategy to be simple, and we will call or name this variable as NER tagger, and we will send the same text from Mr. Batman, and we will get the results into the outputs variable. Now, because I run it before to make it just to see if the notebook is running correct, but now we'll run it again. It will take more time. Of course, I'm going to cut this in the editing, and you will find that Hugging Face Transformers has chosen the BERT large case fine-tuned Connell 03 English model as its default model for this task. Now I will run it. See, it's loading the model. And after it loads the model, if I check the output, I can find that the output is a list of entity groups entity group to define with what entity it has been discovered in this text, either its organization, location, and if it's miscellaneous or location, persons, organizations. And you can find that beside everyone, it will define what is this entity that it has defined, the word, where did it start in the text, location, and where it ends. And you will find that here is an aggregation like Gotham City, okay, and New York strategy symbol, where it connected two entities together, okay. So after that, we are going to show this output in a data frame format. So pandas the data frame. I take these outputs and you will find that it is printing all this in a better format, okay. And of course I did not run it, so I will run it here just to see that it is giving the same results, and here as well, okay. Now third task is question answering, and I think this one of the main tasks that you are doing every day, but with different techniques or advanced techniques like RAG, retrieval augmented generation, where you provide some context and a question to be answered from this context. So again, I'm going to call the pipeline abstract specifying question answering as my task, okay? And I will call this object as reader. And this is my question. What does the customer want? And in our case, it's Mr. Batman. So I will call this reader. I will give it my question, and I will give it the email from Mr. Batman as a context. And I want the model that will be chosen here, which is distal pair base case distal squad, okay, to find the answer in the email of Mr. Bruce Wayne. So I'm going to run this cell. It will load the models and its tokenizer with all other configurations. Now, if I print what is the output, it will give me the score for the answer in a dictionary, and where did it find it as a start and ending positions. And this is what Mr. Bruce Wayne have asked. It needs an immediate replacement in perfect condition or a full refund, okay? Now, I will print this in a data format as pandas, because of course you might have different reviews and they want to run this as a batch. Next task is summarization, and of course we will have big text pieces, and we want our large language model to summarize it and give us the result. So I will call the pipeline abstraction with the task summarization, and I wanted to summarizing with it 45 tokens maximum, and I'm going to call it to the text, okay, and get the outputs. If I print the outputs, I will find it's a list of dictionaries, okay, and it chooses the model to be distal bird CNN 12-6 as the default model. If I print the outputs, this is my output, and this is the summary text. And if I print it, print the first index, the summary text, and it tells me that the summary for this email is that the packaging was crashed and the figure inside it for Superman was in terrible condition, and the sheet and bill, and to the end of that. Okay, number 5, which is translation. I can use a pipeline from Hugging Face for translation purposes, and I can choose the translation from English to Deutsch. And I can here, I did not let Hugging Face to choose the default model. I choose my model, so you can go to Hugging Face Hub and choose whatever models that you need as translation if you try it and you are satisfied with its performance. And in that case, we choose Helsinki NLP, Opus MT English Deutsch. And I call this object as translator. I passed the text, okay, and I specified some parameters here. You can go and find what this means in the library. It could be a good task. Write me in the comments if you need any help in these things. And I will choose the outputs. As you can see now, it's loading the model and its tokenizer. And after that, I print the outputs. Okay, it will give me the translation for Mr. Batman's email or complaint in Deutsch. Okay, and here it is: Labor Amazon, ich schreibe aus Gotham City, New York, and so on. Okay, so last task in this notebook, and finally is the text generation. It's similar to what you are doing to ChatGPT or whatever large language model you are using in your daily life. When you send a prompt and the model will generate answer to you. This task is called text generation, and we can here import set seed from transformers so that we can generate the same generation every time. Of course, there are more than you can count of parameters here when you call a large language model to generate text for you. And here we're going to call pipeline abstract API with text generation, and by default it will be the OpenAI Community GPT-2 model. We'll call this as a generator, and this is the prompt that we are going to send. It will have three parts. First, it's the text, the email. This is the context that we are giving it to this model in that case. Then /n/n, then customer service response /n, and then the response. I want the model to be as our customer service agent, and it should write an email to Batman and tell him that how sorry we are because his order was, and I want the model to complete this email. Okay, so this will be like a prompt. Of course, there is a lot to say about prompt engineering and how we can make the prompt better than this so we can get better results from the large language model. Okay, so I will print the prompt to see it, and then I will call the generator, our pipeline here, and I will define that maximum length is 500 tokens. So this is the maximum number of tokens I want you to generate. By default, as I told you, it will choose the GPT-2 model as its default model, and then it will print our prompt here, and as you can see here, it's Dear Amazon. Then this is the email of Mr. Bruce Wayne, okay, and it's his address. After that, the customer service support response that starts, Dear Batman, we are sorry to hear that your order, and let's see what generated text has been come out from our large language model. And if I print it here, I will find email from Mr. Bruce Wayne, and we will find here the customer service response, and you will find here that different responses has been generated for Mr. Batman from our large language model. Of course, the quality of this generation needs to be fine-tuned by parameters like temperature and the top K and top P parameters and different parameters from your model. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to find the link below for this notebook. Okay, you can take it and open it in Google Colab or in your local environment and try changing these texts and use it in different ways. Thank you, and see you in my next videos.